Hello there, YouTubers, and welcome to yet another computer-related DrCassette video. Now, the mess you're looking at is supposed to become a computer today. You can see I have a motherboard and a power supply, and this is the homemade computer I once built together with a friend. You can find that video on my channel. I think it's called How to Build Your Own Personal Computer or something like that. Now, we made some upgrades to this computer since I built it. We added a DVD drive, which is the black one right there. And we also added a secondary floppy disk drive, which unfortunately doesn't get detected by the Windows 2000 I have on this computer, so that doesn't seem to work. I built in an 80 gigabyte hard disk drive that I found at the dump, and I also built in some other RAM. Originally we had some old SD RAM sitting in there. I now have some more modern DDR1 RAM sitting in there, as you can see. That's 512 MB, I think. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to replace the motherboard in this computer with a slightly newer one that I found at the dump. The newer one supports better and more recent graphics cards, and it does have a slightly better processor in there, I think. I'm not sure what type of processor it has, but a big advantage is that this motherboard actually comes with the original fan for the processor. You may remember we had to put this tiny little fan onto this motherboard because we didn't have the original fan. However, I found this this motherboard at the dump. The only thing that was broken was the heatsink, where it says MSI combo on, had come off. I put it back on, and there it goes again. I'm also going to build in a better graphics card, a more recent one. You can see it right there. This is a Club 3D graphics card, and yep, this came out of the Packard Bell computer you've seen in the previous video. I'm going to use this good graphics card in this good computer. Now, the newer motherboard also requires another power supply. This one is using the type of power supply where you have not only the big connector for power right there, you also get a little 4-pin connector for some additional voltages, I think. And the power supply I have in this computer doesn't have that 4-pin connector. Also, the fan on this power supply is very loud, while this power supply there runs very, very quietly. And as you can see, the motherboard, graphics card and power supply are gone. So now I can start and build in the new parts. As you can see, I now have the motherboard in its place in the computer, and down there you can see I have also put in 2 gigabytes of DDR1 RAM. And also, now before I built in this motherboard, I went and cleaned it and cleaned all the dust out of the heatsink and so on. So that's nice and clean. Now I want to go and build in power supply, and the graphics card. And as you can see, now both the power supply and the graphics card are in their places. I got the power supply connected. As you can see, the graphics card also has to be connected to the power supply separately, which means that this is a pretty good graphics card. As you can see, I took the two floppy disk drives out and put in just one single floppy disk drive. And also I swapped the CD writer with a DVD writer. This is a Write Master brand DVD writer. The interesting thing is these two drives are looking similar on the front, and in fact they are from the same corporation, even though they don't say that. But in the BIOS they both say that they were made by the TSST Corporation. And as you can see, it's basically working. Of course, the Windows 2000 I had on there doesn't say too much now because, well, it has all the new motherboard and stuff in there. So, of course, we'll have to reinstall that. Now, I won't be putting Windows 2000 on there. I will be putting Windows XP on there. As soon as I'm done with the software, we'll take another look at this computer. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you again soon.